Sorry, Snoozles. We'll do our earthbending as quietly as we can.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. I am finally moved into my new apartment. I'm not 100% set up yet, as you can see behind me, but I'm getting there. But before I get there, we have more important business to discuss, and that's some crazy new decks coming out of early access for Magic the Gathering's Avatar: The Last Airbender expansion. You guys have probably already seen my Rakdos Sacrifice deck. This deck is also insane. This is called the FONG Song, and the idea is we're going Golgari. It's sort of an earthbending deck, but it's also kind of a combo deck. It can win organically out of nowhere by just piling up counters and making a whole bunch of extra creatures by turning our lands into creatures with earthbending. But that's all just a distraction. Our opponent is so focused on stopping us from winning the normal way, they don't realize that we have sometimes an infinite combo, or sometimes just like a pseudo-infinite, like a soft infinite combo, depending on what cards we have, to just absolutely destroy our opponent out of nowhere, and they never see it coming. Bayfong's Bounty Hunters, Badgermole Cub, Iridescent Vinelasher, Bloodghast. This deck is the real deal, and like I said, I can't wait to iterate more as soon as the set drops on Tuesday. But for now, we're going to break down the deck as it stands. We're going to get into the gameplay. There's some craziness that's about to ensue. Before we do, please like the video, please subscribe. All of that stuff helps so much. And catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Now let's break down this deck. So the idea behind this deck is really simple, and it's absolutely absurd. I can't wait to iterate on this more as soon as the set actually launches. But we're using Bayfang's Bounty Hunters, a 4/4 human mercenary for 4 mana in the colors of Golgari. And whenever a non-land creature you control dies, you earthbend X, where X is that creature's power. So every single time a creature of yours that isn't a land, so it can't be one of your earthbent lands that you turned into a creature, whenever any of your normal creatures die, you get to turn one of your lands into a creature, right? So then we're using Bloodghast, a 2-mana creature that whenever you get a landfall trigger, you get to return Bloodghast from the graveyard to the battlefield. So the idea is, as long as you have a sacrifice outlet, you sacrifice the Bloodghast, it turns one of your lands into a creature because of Bayfong's Bounty Hunters. Then you can sacrifice that land, and it comes back as the non-creature version of the land, because that's part of earthbending. When the creature version of that land dies, it comes back as the non-creature version of the land. So that land comes back, triggers landfall, Bloodghast comes back into play, and you can sack it all over again. In this way, you can basically infinitely get enters the battlefield and leaves the battlefield triggers. From just sacrificing Bloodghast, sacrificing a land, sacrificing Bloodghast, sacrificing a land, and everything just keeps coming back, and it creates an infinite loop. You just need to get value off that loop. So what do we have to get value off the loop? Iridescent Vinelasher. If you don't have the full-on combo, even just offspringing this, getting 2 of them into play, and incidentally getting a bunch of landfall triggers because of some of the shenanigans you can do with earthbending, can sometimes just win the game all by itself. But if you have even just one of these out while you get that combo online, you can just kill your opponent, and there's nothing they can do about it. We have 4 copies of Umbral Caller Zealot as sort of the sacrifice outlet to enable the actual sacrifice without having to spend any mana. This gives us an infinite number of sacrifices. A lot of other cool sacrifice outlets are open to us in Standard right now. Standard's card pool is absolutely insane, but this is probably the best one that just isn't going to cost us any mana. We just do it over and over and over and over. We also get to surveil every time we do it, so we could potentially also use this ability to get things into the graveyard that we need there, such as the Bloodghast, knowing that we can bring it back as soon as we hit a landfall trigger. We're also using 3 copies of Longfang Grand Secretariat, a 2/3 human advisor for 3 mana. Whenever another creature you control or land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So if this is out, we get infinite +1/+1 counters. And theoretically, we could get infinite +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures from getting enough triggers. And sometimes that Bloodghast is going to have haste if our opponent's at 10 life or less. So sometimes we can all of a sudden just swing with more creatures than our opponent can block, and all of them can do more than 20 damage apiece. And that can be absurd as well if we need an alternate win condition other than the Vinelasher. Longfang also doubles as a really nice way of shoring up our defenses if we're not quite to the infinite combo yet, but, you know, still want to survive a couple turns to try and get there, or to just slowly kill our opponents the normal way. We can shore up our defenses with a bunch of +1/+1 counters and do that. We're also running 3 copies of Secret Tunnel, because it's a land that can't be blocked. So sometimes we load up a ton of counters on the Secret Tunnel itself, Earthbend it into a creature with Bayfong's Bounty Hunters, keep doing the sacrifice combo over and over, and put all of the counters from Longfang on the Secret Tunnel so that it becomes like a 20 power unblockable creature, and we just swing and kill with that. That's another alternate win con if we don't have our Vinelasher open to us. And then, of course, since we're Earthbending, we're playing the most broken card in the entire set, and easily the best Earthbending card, Badgermole Cub. This is a 2/2 for 2. When it enters, you get to Earthbend 1, and whenever you tap a creature for mana, you add an additional green. So no matter what, whatever land you Earthbend is going to give you 2 mana when you tap it. But also, if you Earthbend other creatures with Bayfong's ability, you could potentially have multiple lands that can tap for multiple mana each by the time Badgermole Cub hits. But what's really great about Badgermole Cub is it just lets us ramp into Insanity really quick to pull this off way earlier than we should have any right of doing it. So 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Gene Pollinator in the 1-drop slot to make sure we have Mana Dorks super early, and then we can just get extra mana out of those Mana Dorks, which is awesome. We're also running 4 copies of Assassin's Trophy as just key removal. We don't really care if they get to fetch a land because we're ramping so much harder than them. And then we've got 4 Spelunking, so that all of the lands that we're putting into play are coming back untapped in case we need to use them for mana. This can be good when we're going pseudo-infinite, but it's also just really good when we're just playing the game organically and naturally doing some sacrifice landfall shenanigans. So Spelunking's pretty cool too. The rest of the deck is just a whole bunch of dual lands. If you want the whole list, it is in the description, so check it out there. The games were really cool, and I think we can make this deck way better once the set actually launches and I have some time to wrap my head around it. But for now, let's check out the games. Sure, let's do it. Sure. I ain't scared. I ain't afraid. Hello. Anunnaki 92. We don't need you. Let me see that long, baby. That long. The mortuary. How dare you? How dare you, sir? It was rude, is what it was. It was very rude. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. What you got for me? Virtue, Gleaming Barrier. Looks like it might be a sacrifice deck. Hmm. Have you ever in your life sneezed? Just so much, you know? I think we wait until next turn to do the thing. We could do the thing. Sack the Bloodghast, sack the Mortuary. Mortuary comes back, Bloodghast comes back. But we're gonna get Long Feng out first. How long? How long, Feng? I kinda wanna offspring the Vinelasher too, though. I think that might be better, actually. Black. Green. Offspring. Alright. We'll do this. Assassin's Trophy. No, I want some payoffs. And we'll do this. Get all the triggers in the world. That's sick. Let's keep that on top. Then we Long Feng. Yeah. Then we sack. I guess we don't really need to sack Bloodghast, do we? Well, Long Feng gets to trigger, and that's pretty cool. And then we sack this land, right? Put another counter here. Get all the triggers. We have a mana, but we don't really have too much else we can do right now. Alright, well, on the turn, he gets a treasure. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you for the well wishes, Grixis. Rise of Sozin! How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Zealot, Vinelashers, and the turn. Yeah, choose a card name. Bloodghast, sure. It's not even the most important part, bro. Virtue of persistence. Secret tunnel. Sure. Give me all the triggers. Green. Black. Badgermole Cub. Badgermole Cub. Do we need the mana? No, we don't need the mana. So, we will attack. And if we sack this, we get it back and do 2 more damage. But we don't have to do it yet. So let's wait. We can sack it any time to just burn our opponent for 2. So we'll just wait and we'll do it when it's relevant. Man, Earthbending is so cool. I can't wait to brew more with it when the set comes out. Solemn Simulacrum, sure. Big nasty man. Menace and Firebending. Get to steal all my creatures. But only when he deals combat damage to a player. That seems fine. So we just can't let him do combat damage. Another Virtue of Persistence. He certainly is persistent. Gene Pollinator. Well, that's not really helping, is it? Pass a turn. It is what it is, unfortunately. There ain't nothing we can do about it. Except sit here like a bunch of schlubs. A bunch of schlubs! Oh. Right, my unblockable 1/1. Forgot about that. Yeah. I could have swung with the Secret Tunnel, I guess. Honestly, I could have attacked with both of those. Destroy? That is not going to do a whole lot for us right now, actually. Although, I don't really want him to have it, so maybe that was a mistake. Really tempted to sack the Gene Pollinator, too. Maybe even the Badgermole Cub. Just to dig, but kind of need blockers. If he swings with Sozin, I think we block with everything. You could argue chump block with the Gene Pollinator too. But you can't really chump block because of the Menace, so I think our best bet is this. I still think Bahamut's probably going to kill us. But it is what it is. One of our things will survive. Where you can't block. Where you can't block. Well, that keeps us in the game, I guess. But he just gets it back with virtue. So it doesn't matter. I guess maybe I should have waited and used it on his turn. But I mean, the game's over regardless. I wasn't thinking about it too hard because there's no way I can come back from this. Just too much mono black insanity. It's using my own Badgermole Cubs against me. Who'd have thunk it? Welcome to Earth. Nectar of the gods. Just kill me. Do it. I'm here. I'm here. Kill me. I'm here. I'm here. Kill me.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
No blocks. Sad pandas. Sad pandas. This looks pretty good. We'll keep it. Start with Llanowar Elves, I think. We'll go... Things don't line up the way I want. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. We're wasting some mana. But we sure will have an awful lot of mana next turn. Secret tunnel. So we'll do this because we can. We needed more black. I mean, that's cool. Now we get to do a thing. I'm into that. I'm into that. FONG's Bounty Hunters. Pollen Shield Hair. Badgermole. Badgermole. Technically, we could get double blackout for this, but I don't think it matters yet. We'll just do that. If he tries to toss everything in front of Bay Fongs, we can just Assassin's Trophy. Alright, we're gonna hold up Assassin's Trophy. Spiteful Hexmage. Mythic, mythic, mythic. Pollen Shield Hair. We're gonna dump one of these. Umbral Caller Zealot. Pay black. Wait, what? Why can't I tap it for black? Oh, I don't have a swamp or a forest? That's why. I guess that makes sense, right? Interesting. Well, we'll swing in for 2, and I guess we'll just wait until next turn. I should have played the Zealot instead of the Bloodghast. I didn't realize I didn't have more black. Oh, he's just gonna scoop it up. That's fine. Alright, we're up against Shahar. This looks decent. We're going to keep it. Mr. Gene Pollinator. Hello, sir. Or ma'am. Look at my hair, bro. Ugh, I've just been running around like crazy the last few days. We have a gran. I repeat, we have a gran. Do we spelunking? I think we spelunking. I think we go Gene Pollinator. Oh, you know what? We can't spelunking yet. We can get 3 mana, but only by playing something that costs 1 mana. Really? Really? Okay. Okay. I guess. What an interesting decision. Don't think we're bloodgasting. We're gonna do this. Another 𝐂𝐿𝐿𝐿. Sure. Oh, I don't even get the offspring? Oh, no, because it's not 2 copies on the stack, right? It's a trigger on ETB. Eh, it is what it is. Our control deck's, like, the thing now. Now that Vivi's gone. Maybe? Lethal. Lethal. Draw a card. I think we just do this. We could have held up Assassin's Trophy. I think we just need to put as much pressure on our opponent as possible, just because of the way that they're playing. Oof. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. Hey, what's up, Panthro? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Astrologian's Planisphere. More accumulate wisdom. Ow. Man, this deck is brutal. Grand and accumulate wisdom in the same deck is just gross. So let me think. We could Offspring of Vinelasher. Only have 1 mana left. We could try to get really lucky with Spelunking and hit a land. But even if we do, we're only playing a Bloodghast or a trophy off of it. We can't Offspring the Vinelasher at that point. We could just Bloodghast Assassin's Trophy, but we need blockers, not attackers, right? This is kind of a tricky board state. I think we kind of just need to like take the hits one more turn, get super low, but try to set up to come back. I think the set's pretty alright. Million times better than Spider-Man, that's for sure. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't fatigued by all of the constant sets. It's just a lot. It's hitting critical mass for me. But I try not to think about that part of it. I try to just focus on like the actual avatar cards and the cool things you can do and the decks you can build with them. And I'm pretty happy when I think about it in that way. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.